Gang, man, and we back with another one, man. Top 3 photos with disturbing backstories, part Trey. Now let's get straight into it, man.
Between 1974 and 1975, a criminal who had been dubbed the Visalia Ransacker had been terrorized.
74 to 75. That's a crazy time period right there because the laws were very lax when it came to people.
The Eastern District of Sacramento, California.
Oh,
Initially,
no.
he would break into people.
See, I didn't want to say anything because that's the bridge, the San Francisco bridge right there where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? So I was hoping it wasn't going to be, but yeah, welcome to my area, my neck of the woods.
When they were sleeping by prying open one of their windows. He would go inside and basically ransack their house. He wouldn't steal any of the major valuables that were right in plain sight. He would just kind of throw things all over the place and would take 1 or 2 small things, probably as a souvenir. Unfortunately, by the summer of 1976, this Visalia Ransacker was not only not caught, but was also no longer satisfied with just breaking into people's homes and ransacking them and taking a few things. He had moved on to killing people, and so he had been given a new nickname, one that just about everybody knew at the time.
I said the Zodiac Killer.
Golden State Killer.
The Golden State Killer. Oh,
he became much more cautious about how he
yo, my parents told me about this. The Golden State Killer, bro. Yeah, he had yeah, I'm gonna let y'all. Yeah, let's get into it.
About attacking them. He would oftentimes break into his victims' homes while they weren't there, and he would walk their property, look for guns and unload them. He would look for any security cameras or devices and turn them off. He would plant ligatures, pieces of rope and twine that he could use to bind people's arms and legs. He would place them in their house, and then he would leave. And he would study his victims and get to know their patterns and know when they were going to be in the house.
I'm sorry, but aren't you gonna just notice when you're like walking around your house, you're like, I don't leave no bundle of rope right here. Like, I'm just saying.
When they were going to be in certain rooms, and then at some point he would sneak in through a window at night while they were sleeping, and their victims would wake up with him standing over them with a flashlight in their face.
See, I have to remind myself that I'm thinking in current times. Like, I'm like, the Ring doorbell. I got this over, you know what I mean? But I have to remember, 1970s, you know, they didn't, I think they were still using rotary phones.
On the rare occasion where neighbors or police had actually spotted this guy, they saw that he was wearing a full face mask and he was very athletic. He was able to elude police capture and jump over fences and would run away. By the end of 1976, when the Golden State Killer had still not been caught, citizens of Sacramento became furious with the police. They felt like they were not doing enough to try to catch this guy. So on November 3rd, 1976, the police actually host this huge town hall meeting, and they invite all the citizens of Sacramento to come be a part of it, voice your complaints, listen to what police are actually trying to do to catch the Golden State Killer, and basically just have an opportunity to air your grievances a little bit. During the meeting, a man in the crowd who was a citizen of Sacramento stands up and basically starts making fun of the Golden State Killer, calling him weak and a coward, saying, you know, you're preying on women. If you ever came to my house, I would totally beat the crap out of you. Like, this guy's a joke.
I'm sorry, but if you ever seen any of those movies like Hannibal or, I don't know the first one, I forgot, or Last Dragon or something like that, like, you don't taunt the killers. That makes you nothing but a target, man. That's crazy. Don't do that.
And everybody in the town hall meeting just totally ate it up. It was like this one little victory for the town of Sacramento is we're going to put down the Golden State Killer for being weak and a coward. Then, in an ironic twist,
it was all fun and games until you rolling down the hill in a wheelchair on fire. That's all I'm saying.
That guy who was making fun of the Golden State Killer, he and his wife became the next victims of the Golden State Killer. And in fact, the Golden State Killer changed his entire MO. Instead of kind of targeting random people all over Sacramento, he began only targeting married couples. And he would always attack when the husband was home. For decades, the Golden State Killer eluded capture and even taunted the police in threatening phone calls all the way up until 2001. But in 2016, they reinvestigated the Golden State Killer case using DNA evidence, something that was not available in the 70s and the 80s when they were investigating these crimes. And it was through this reinvestigation that they were able to capture 74-year-old Joseph DeAngelo in 2018, who was, in fact, the Golden State Killer. DeAngelo pled guilty to 13 counts of first-degree murder and was given 12 consecutive life sentences. When the killer was finally identified as Joseph DeAngelo, police were going through some of the older case photos and they made a startling discovery. This is a picture from the November 3rd, 1976 town hall meeting, and there in the middle of the photo is none other than Joseph DeAngelo, aka the Golden State Killer. And he was there.
See, that's crazy too, because they always say that like serial killers or perpetrators of crimes like to go back to the scene of the crime or collect mementos to actually, you know, just commemorate or just see what they did, you know what I'm saying? So it makes perfect sense that he was at the actual gym to see what the commotion was about, because it was of him. It was because of him. It makes sense.
And that citizen of Sacramento stood up and began berating
he was right there.
The killer, saying how he was a coward and weak, and that he would totally beat him up if he ever came to his house. And there's Joseph DeAngelo sitting there listening to this guy. And after the meeting, what does he do? He targets the guy that spoke out against him. And even after he attacked this guy, apparently he was so upset that he changed his entire MO and only targeted married couples from that point on, as if he was...
When the husband was home. So that means like he was so angry, he had to go ritualize that same kill of you all over again. That's how mad he was. And that means you kind of not are responsible, but what your outburst in that situation facilitated his next movements for the next, unfortunately, whatever couples got.
Proving a point that you can't touch me.
That's crazy. But yeah, man, NT Gang, man, we're doing Mr. Baller, you know what I'm saying, shorts, man. So holla at me on the next one. NT Gang, holla at y'all tomorrow.